I had those weapons, those worthy weapons. I had those a couple. They cut up your feet though, but yeah, those
right there,
the weapons.
But I had those way, but I had those when they were there. Those were the ones.
Oh.
Converse was the shoe from my childhood, you know, all the way through.
Now there's a steal by Bird.
Oh, I remember that steal.
Look at this. Oh shit!
Associated since 1974, better than 30 years, and it's been a happy experience.
Look at that shit, huh?
Every time I step out on the floor, it's important that I go out there and I represent, you know, the history of Converse.
In 1908, Marquis Converse founded the Converse Rubber Shoe Company in Malden, Massachusetts.
Look at this shit.
To manufacture winterized rubber
everything in
footwear.
Boston.
Moving to satisfy a growing need in the U.S. for basketball shoes, Converse
boots.
created the All-Star in 1917. Shortly thereafter, a young man approached the company with some fresh new ideas, and history would soon be made.
Chuck Taylor joined the company in 1921, and he walked into a sales office in Chicago with really a set of ideas on how he thought that shoe could perform better. One of them was the famous patch, which is on the inside ankle of the shoe. He wanted to protect players' ankles, so that actually used to be a sewn-on leather patch. Well, Marquis Converse, the founder of the company, was so impressed with what he'd done to improve the product that he put Chuck's name on the product in 1923. From that day on, Chuck sort of became the ambassador of basketball in America. You know, he's kind of a Johnny Appleseed of basketball.
Other shoes by other companies existed on the market. The All-Star was a true phenomenon. Outfitting teams from coast to coast, the Chuck Taylor All-Star was the shoe for decades. Although in retrospect, they may not have been the most comfortable for the newly developing fast break style of basketball.
We have to remember that all the shoes in those days
The fucking
were
Bob
ugly and
Cousy.
uncomfortable.
That bad motherfucker.
Black canvas high tops. Now that I look back on it, since they were the only option we had, hey, that's what we wore.
Still the leader in basketball shoe sales, the Chuck Taylor was joined in popularity by the Jack Purcell model. First produced for tennis and badminton in the 1930s.
Oh, yeah, they brought that back.
Named for the top badminton champion of the era,
what?
the Jack Purcell brand soon became the
oh my
These are the kind of sports stars they had before they had
the
integration.
badminton hero?
Yeah.
The brand received a big lift when photos of James Dean relaxing in the low-cut canvas shoe were released, with Dean looking slightly cooler in Jack Purcell's than in his high school Chuck Taylor All-Stars. Back on the hardwood, Converse continued to dominate the basketball landscape. Chuck Taylor spread the Converse word through countless
all white
camps.
players.
The Converse
Nah, Bernard
basketball
King.
yearbook profiled high
Bill
school
Russell.
No, I
and
mean the one that's
college
showing
teams
back
from
then.
around the country.
Oh
His
yeah, you couldn't
contributions
put
to the
fucking.
game, Chuck Taylor was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in
Hell yeah, Chuck Taylor.
1968, the same induction class as Red Auerbach.
Well
A tour
deserved.
of the hall finds dozens of examples of Converse influence throughout the history of the sport, from college, the NBA, and even overseas.
All the greats were wearing them. Everybody from Bob Cousy, of course, Bill Russell got all his rings wearing them, and everybody wore that shoe.
Look at that
If
motherfucker.
it wasn't official, it was
Havlicek.
the unofficial shoe of the NBA for so much time.
With the introduction of leather basketball shoes in the late 60s, the Chuck Taylor All-Star slowly
shit.
faded in the athletic realm, although its
But
popularity
he wore
began to
Pumas.
grow
He
in the
switched
casual
over to
Who?
Puma.
Who went to Puma?
becoming
Clyde.
a fashion staple of the counterculture.
Because
Clyde
Clyde,
was a-
Models
Puma
replaced the
developed the
canvas Chuck
Clyde.
Taylor on the court, and Converse's reach expanded beyond basketball. They also had success in the sports of tennis,
All right.
I
baseball,
kill this dog.
football, softball.
Yeah, I didn't know Converse been around that fucking long.
That's a long time. Chuck Taylor, I never
Look
really
at
knew who he
Julius.
was.
Julius took it to the next fucking level with the limousines for the feet. That's what those were. Those were leather shoes. And then they started adding the color to it and the fucking glitter. But besides that, they're the original limousines for the feet.
I love how they thought a patch would protect people's ankles.
Did you see that, dog?
No.
Oh my God! Look at those legs. Look how long those fucking legs are on the stripes.
Watch, they're going to show the commercial. You're going to die. Look at that.
His influence and
They're gonna show me no commercial. It's a 7-minute video.
The fuck? Look at this. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
Right in his
Look
face.
at, look at that was Billy Polk.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, that he did that to a bunch of
Some
fucking
intentional disrespect there.
people. And then Michael,
Fuck, he went high.
and then Michael Jordan took it from there. You can turn this off now. No, Julius Erving would do some nasty fucking things to you. When we were on the Rogan podcast a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
I told him to put on Julius Erving's top 10 dunks.
Dude, that behind the backboard, that had to be in there, even though it wasn't a dunk. Going around behind the backboard, reaching back in,
And just
slipping
tapping
back
it.
up.
That was against the Lakers.
Wow.
He was a Laker killer back in the days. He
Put
used to
that
just-
one on.
If you watch,
It was
just go to
crazy.
the top 10 dunks by Julius Erving. There is a dunk on here that nobody ever talks about that I think is one of the greatest dunks of all time.
What?
And I saw it live.
What?
He against the Portland Trailblazers, the finals, when they lost that on 6 games. In Game 6, they were losing like by 11, and they were kind of iffy. And Julius Erving wanted to make a statement, and he took the ball and he drove it. And he slammed it in Bill Walton's face. Like Bill Walton was the big thing then. He just slammed. And I'll show it to you that you see Bill Walton calling for an offensive foul. Okay, put the music on.
Go.
Man, I can't believe that.
Okay, that's.
Never seen one like it.
He's never seen it behind the
Watch
back.
this
dunk.
one. That's the one you're talking about.
No,
oh
that's
my
not
God.
the one I'm talking about.
Look at this one. This
Wow.
one's beautiful. Boom.
Right
first
around
step.
Kareem, palming the ball. Get the fuck out
He
of
had
there.
that first step, man.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, shit.
Wow. Oh, that's Detroit, who was not going to let him score ever.
He is such an exciting
Get Lakers again. Always kill the Lakers. Look at him.
God, he jumped high.
Julius Erving, look at that move behind the back.
Yeah, you're right. The first step he would take by
His
past
first
people.
step. When
He
would-
went around the back to taunt that guy's face, and then dunked.
That's against fucking.
When he palms that basketball,
Collins.
there's no getting it out of his hand.
Jesus, that's against the Phoenix Suns. And that was Walter Davis and the Cokeheads.
Look at those two giants next to him. They just
Look at
went
them.
right
You know
through
how
him.
good you have to be to slam that way. What? Here we go. Here we go against Portland. Watch Bill Walton.
1, 2,
Watch.
3.
Bam! Look at Bill Walton call for the offensive. Watch. Bill Walton comes up. Look at him. Watch.
Yeah, get no
Wa-
offense.
Watch Bill Walton calling for the offensive.
Oh, what a fucking
You
punk! You
and
ain't
this
getting
is
no offensive
another
call
one
on that.
against
You ready to
fucking.
jump into him?
Look at this one. That's in the same game too. Look at
Oh!
That's against Bobby Gross. No, he didn't fuck around, dog.
God,
Look at this
damn
one.
it.
I had this game, getting 1 point at home,
Oh,
and I
he
was at the
windmills
game.
it. He windmills
I
it in
was-
his face. Were you really?
I was at that game. I was getting a point at home. Look at this. That's when
Oh.
you knew they were gonna win it that year.
Look up Dr. J around the backboard. Wow. Yeah, he was explosive in that first step. He would just shake you and go
He would
right
hold
down.
that ball on his right hip or his left hip, depending on where he was standing. And he would take that first step and juke you and then bring it back. We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.